Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is our only broadcast of the GST Dota 2 for this evening because G1 just ended a little bit late for us to catch the last game, and then Sun chose to forfeit their match. So we are currently in the loser bracket finals of Group A. For Group A, it was MUFC, Sun, Mineski, as well as Chainstack. Chainstack, they took first place. They took down MUFC in that match, and, well, we'll see if MUFC can secure second place. They are going to be playing against the full might of the Philippines, the fan favorites, Mineski themselves, Bimbo in the captain slot, Jovent now playing for the team, and of course, you've Geo, you've Oa, you've Yanni. So a pretty well-rounded, star-studded lineup, but over on the side of MUFC, you have a rising star from Singapore. Miracle will be the stand-in for this game. Han Trash player is not in the game, so it will be Miracle filling in a pinch for him. He'll be playing that hard carry role, I believe. Also, Wang Wang absent today. It looks like Lane may be their new support player, as he is actually tagged up, as is the rest of the team. I don't know if they ever officially announced their full roster. I know they announced Winter, then they announced two other players. Haven't really seen if they announced anyone else since then, but Lane probably going to be their new support player moving forward. Not sure if we'll be seeing much of Wang Wang in the future. For Mineski, they're going to go with some interesting picks here. They go for the Tinker and the Weaver. Tinker, a hero that, frankly, I haven't seen played a whole lot in the Pinoy scene. I mean, he fits in a sense because it's a lot about split pushing. It's a lot about having multiple semi carries as opposed to any true hard carry. You don't really see much for Protect 1, but you know, we often see heroes like the Queen of Pain, the Windrunner, the Magnus, the Panda even occasionally. Tinker, not so much, so not really sure who's going to play this one. I imagine it'll be that solo mid, in which case it'll probably be Yanni's, but could be the safe lane farmer. Like, we could see that Weaver in the off lane. Could be an offensive tri-lane Weaver with Rubik Weaver +1. They don't go for the follow-up stun. You really need something like an Earthshaker if you want to run that kind of a tri-lane, or Keeper of the Light can do in a pinch, but they won't get the Keeper now, as it has been banned. Of course, I am LDM Beyond the Summit, so thank you all very much for joining me. Delighted to have you here. It's a best of one for today. Tomorrow, we'll move forward into the playoffs. Hopefully, Gods will be well by then. He is still sick. Sorry he hasn't been casting eyes, but he's really under the weather, not feeling too good. Had a bit of a flu, has had a sore throat. Oh, man. It's one thing after another for him. I'll tell you, this is what you get for partying too much in Singapore. At least that's what I would say. God's having too much fun there. He's paying for it now, though. He'll hopefully be better soon. But in the meantime, you're stuck with me. So, Clockwork going to be the first ban here from Mineski. Looking at MUFC's lineup, Clockwork is a rather annoying hero against Tinker in particular, just because you want to be moving all around the map. Hook is one of those things, even if you're blinking into trees, even if you're teleporting all around, Clockwork can find you, and once you get cogged and battery assaulted, you are screwed. Nowadays, it's not very popular to go for 4-staff on Tinker, and if you do, it's normally your second item after the Blink, because the Blink is just the better split pushing item. It gives you a lot more mobility. It's much harder to gank you. 4-staff, more of a utility item for the actual engagements. So if you're going that route, then cogs are obviously still going to annoy you. Blink won't be helpful there, but they also ban the puck, so it looks like in general, more just banning those strong solos for MUFC. They do have the Lone Druid. That'll probably be their safe lane farmer for Miracle. We'll probably be seeing the Magnus mid, and then they're looking at an off lane. So if that's the case, then the puck, the Clockwork, two strong off lanes to worry about. As for Mineski, what are they going to go for? We'll have to wait and see. They need another support. They're going to need another farmer as well. So, could be a Tinker mid, could be a Weaver off lane, could be a Tinker safe lane, could be a Weaver off lane, and it could be someone else mid. But basically, Weaver's going to go to that off lane. I guess he could be the safe lane farmer if they if they want. They could run an aggressive tri lane with the Weaver safe lane, the Tinker mid, and then a Rubik +2. If they want that option, there is a Lena in the pool. There's a Gyrocopter in the pool. There's actually some strong tri-lanes still available. So Mineski, that might be the way to go. Get the Gyrocopter, get the Tinker Weaver combo. You're not dealing with the Keeper of the Light in the tri-lane. You're not dealing with anything really strong for MUC. And it will be Mineski with the first pick coming out of this draft. So if I'm Mineski, I may be thinking, hey, let's ban either Leshrac or Lena. Then we'll pick the other one up ourselves. But they're thinking something totally different. They're going to ban Anti-Mage, a hero that's very annoying. Another sort of counter to Tinker in the mid-game with Mana Void, just basically making you a walking time bomb. If you ever are low on mana, that Mana Void will blow you up. Anti-Mage can find you and kill you even while you're split pushing, even if you use that Blink Dagger to go inside the trees and spam March from the tree line. You're not safe there either. And also pretty hard for Weaver to deal with, just because Weaver has a low attack range, and he's squishy. So Anti-Mage can easily trade blows with Weaver, even when he's eating the double proc auto attack from, what is it called again? The Geminate attack. I always forget. For some reason, that spell. I used to play a lot of Weaver. Don't see too much of him nowadays, though. Once in a while on the Southeast Asian scene, but occasionally in Europe. But not really a top pick or ban by any means. And they go Gyrocopter. So it looks like it will be that safe lane Weaver, the tri-lane Gyro Rubik +1, and then the Tinker mid. That's going to be a potent lineup for them. Which probably puts Yanni onto the Tinker, I want to say. Bimbo has been playing less of a hard farming role since they added Joven to the team. So maybe we'll see Yanni on the Weaver. Maybe we'll see Joven on the Weaver. Actually, not 100% sure, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be Joven on the safe lane Weaver. We're going to have Joven or Yanni on the Weaver and Tinker, and then the other three will be in the tri-lane. That's basically my prediction as of now. But Mineski has been pretty fluid with their roles as of late, so not 100% sure. MUFC, what do they go for here? They got to smell the tri-lane coming their way. They will do so. They'll pick up the Shadow Demon Lena, so they have that good initiation, lots of lockdown, and it's going to be a support Gyrocopter. The final pick for Mineski is a Juggernaut. So Rubik Lift into Blade Fury into Rocket Barrage. That is absolutely disgusting amounts of damage. Rocket Barrage at level 1, if it only hits one target, does, I think it's about 300 damage. You get 10 rockets per second, you get 3 seconds, so that's 30 rockets total, and then 11 damage. So it's like 330, then you reduce it by 20, by the hero's built-in magic resistance. So you're left with a little under 300 possible magic damage per second. Then Blade Fury on top of that, 400 magic damage before reduction. So before reduction, if there's only one hero that gets caught, that's 700 damage. Now, granted, heroes could be near each other. Shadow Demon Illusions will be helpful against Rocket Barrage, as you can dodge a lot of them. The Bear can tank them, but in theory, if Lena or Shadow Demon gets caught, they're dead. I mean, they're just dead. There's no escaping. Even with a disruption, Blade Fury, Rocket Barrage, they do too much damage, and Gyrocopter can just run next to you. So it's looking like Juggernaut going to be that off-lane farmer. Weaver will get the safe lane farm, and then Tinker's going to go mid. So I like this draft from Mineski quite a bit. It's potent in the laning stage. It's good at split pushing. It scales well into the late game, and it can win the lanes. Tinker can win mid versus Magnus. Juggernaut or Weaver can do well against the Lone Druid if Lone Druid's the hero in the tri-lane. And it will be a Lone Druid in the offlane. So Weaver versus Lone Druid, a matchup that should favor the Lone Druid, but not overwhelmingly so. We could even see Mag versus Weaver and then Lone Druid versus Tinker if they want to send the Lone Druid over towards mid. And with all that being said, we're now inside the game, so we'll switch the overlays. We will introduce the teams. On the side of MUFC, remember guys, this is a best out of one. Winner advances to playoffs. Loser goes home. Playoffs to start tomorrow. It's MUFC going to be on the dire side. TFG playing the Magnus Winter on the Shadow Demon. Observers and Sentries picked up by him. Ling playing the Lena. Heading towards the bottom lane. Has a Magic Wand picked up. Magic Stick, rather. FCFC on that Lone Druid. No tangos on his bear, something that you generally want to do if you're going to be creep pulling, just to make sure it doesn't get blocked or trapped. And last but not least, the stand-in. It'll be Miracle of First Departure playing that Naga Siren. As for Mineski, very straightforward, predictable lanes for them. Juggernaut being handled by, well, not the hero, not who's playing what potentially, but as far as who's going to be, or what the lanes are going to be, pretty straightforward. Yanni on the Juggernaut. Oa on that support Rubik. Sentries picked up. It will be Geo on the support Gyrocopter. Observers for him. And Bimbo or Jay on the Tinker. So actually it will be Yanni in the aggressive tri-lane, but he'll be getting the farm in this lane. And then last but not least, it will be Joven playing that safe lane Weaver. So Mineski looking to contest the pull, and MUFC just, they can't really contest this. They do get Naga Siren. Her net could be crucial. It goes through Blade Fury. You can't remove it by Blade Furying. It is a physical disable. So because of that, it'll just hold you in place no matter what. It goes through Magic Immunity, remains there even after Magic Immunity is applied. It's not like a Root Entangle, just keeps you in place. So if Juggernaut goes in and Blade Furies, you can net him and then just look to run away. You can also disrupt yourself. So by going for the Naga, they have a hero that can potentially allow them to disengage safely. Something they really needed. I imagine otherwise they would have wanted to go for a harder carry, but they really didn't have that choice this game. So it will be the Lone Druid off lane. Has he been pulled any sentries? He has not. Weaver safe lane. So Joven on the Weaver versus the Lone Druid. Still a matchup that Lone Druid will have a slight edge in, but not nearly as much because he's off lane and he's up against a Weaver without Sentry Ward. So Weaver will be able to get a lot accomplished here. Mid lane, Bimbo playing the Tinker versus the TFG Magnus. A pretty even matchup. Definitely an advantage to be on the Radiant side as Tinker, simply because you can stack the Ancients much more fluidly while you're going to check that top rune. If you're Dire and you want to stack them, you gotta run all the way down here. It's much farther out of the way, way past the rune, instead of being a pit stop along the way. But they could smoke gank this Bimbo Tinker mid, and we'll have to see if they go for it. Do they have a Smoke of the Sea picked up yet? Nope, nothing so far. So they're not planning on leaving this tri-lane. And Mineski actually warding off their own pull camp. Interesting choice by them. Sentry Ward plopped down in the lane. Oa expecting an observer to be here. He won't find one, though. So the trades in this top lane so far looking pretty good for MUFC. Miracle's getting farm. Their pull is not being contested. Links are already level 2. Winter will be level 2 fairly soon. So they're going to pull ahead and experience it. Because Mineski actually blocked off their own pull camp, they're not going to be able to catch up too easily. So they'll have to look to contest the Dire pull. They have good heroes to do it. Blade Fury is good at contesting the pull. Fade Bolt's okay. And then Rocket Barrage is pretty fantastic. But for the moment, not choosing to do so. As Miracle needs a bit of a pause for his skill. Meanwhile, middle lane, Bimbo thinking about a courier kill here, but nope, just gonna go for the laser. He's leveling up laser. Going laser rockets, not going for the March build, something we don't often see from any Tinker player nowadays. You always get at least a point or two, but we'll see if he goes for it later. Top lane, Yanni's taking some Riptide damage. He's only level 1 Winter. Could look for a disruption. Not going to do so. It's hard to get Juggernaut, because that Blade Fury is instant. As soon as you press it, it goes. So even if you disrupt him, potentially you could just Blade Fury before the Light Trickery even lands. Generally, you're going to want to initiate on the Rubik, maybe the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter is kind of ideal in a way, because if you disrupt him, you get 2 illusions right next to him. So his barrage is going to be fairly useless in that scenario. But I'm really liking this Naga pick, and I'm also disliking the fact that Mineski warded their own pull. It's really limiting their ability to do anything in this lane. Hasterim picked up by TFG. He's going to charge in mid, but with Laser Rocket build on Bimbo, I don't know. He doesn't have regen, though. He might go for the kill. Nope, not going to. He thought about it, though. Oh, man. I hope I'm not getting sick, too. So, safe lane. Joven on the Weaver up against the off-lane Lone Druid. 10-2 on FCFC, 12-0 on Joven. Joven doing better than you would normally expect, but... Oh, mid lane. Bimbo, so low. Eats a Skewer, eats a Shockwave, down to 40 HP. He'll have to go back to base, I think. He might just bottle Crow, but he'll need an additional salve as well to really be safe in this lane. Not choosing to buy one just yet. He's leveling up Rocket, too, so really going for the fights. This is a great game to get March. You're up against Naga, you're up against Disruption Illusions, you're up against a lot of stuff that March will help you deal with. Laser Rocket, they do have some great killing potential, but later on, not going to be too useful. Once that mid game hits, you will really wish that you had the March of the Machines. And so far, I gotta say, I think MUFC are getting the much better trades in the lanes. Tinker's winning mid, 16-2 to 14-3, but not overwhelmingly so. And the one thing is, when you don't go March build, you also don't have great rune control because you're not pushing the wave. So that's why we've seen TFG getting those runes bottom, even though he doesn't have a rune ward, just able to easily go check them out, secure them with Skewer. And Laser Rocket, yes, you can get kills, but you won't get them against the Magnus, who's perpetually bottle crowing, and that's exactly what we see. Constant bottle crow, it's just back to mid lane after going to the base. They don't need a top, because they have the tri-lane, they have control of the pull, so they can push the lane, go to the side shop whenever they want, and additionally, Lone Druid is not a hero that needs it. Now he's got his own Sentry Wards. I'm not sure if he bought them. He did. He bought his own Sentry Wards, and now this lane gets easier. So, they're winning bottom lane, 20-7 up on our Lone Druid, now pulling far ahead of the Weaver. They're winning mid, or breaking even there, and then they're winning top with the pulls. Now Oa will catch out TFG, who looks maybe for a Skewer, maybe for a retreat. He'll rotate back. Meanwhile, top lane, they see that there is no Rubik here, but a Blade Fury. No way to actually get him with that Light Strike Array. Now the net comes through, though. They may be able to bring him down just with the raw auto attacks, doing some additional damage. That Soul Catcher hurts. And now Clarity up on Winter. He's already level 3. Level 3 on Arlena. Only 2 on the Gyro. The net is on cooldown for the moment. But I like the way the lanes are developing a lot. Oh, no. First Blood. Joven gets solo killed, gets rooted, and that's all she wrote. Such a hard matchup for the Weaver. Actually would have lived if it weren't for the Sentry War, because it wore off, and he's able to Sakuchi, and you fade very, very quickly with Sakuchi. And once you fade those auto attacks, you can't actually be damaged unless there's vision, but there was vision, so down he goes. Bimbo has the wand, has the bottle, now going to be going for the Boots of Travel. Farming pretty well, considering that he's not going March build, but remember, he's not stacking Ancients. Normally you'll see, farm the lane for like 6-7 minutes, then go kill the stacked Ancients, and then you just get your Boots of Travel, and then it's just a free reign for you. But he's going to have to continue to last hit, he's going to have to continue to stay in the lane. The mid-game potency of a Tinker who goes Laser Rockets is stronger, though. If you can find the kills, you'll bring a lot more pressure to the fights, and nowhere is really safe. He might get a kill here on TFG, wands up, able to live, just barely at that. Now he'll salve. Needed to won there or he would have died, but instead he'll be fine. In terms of gold lead, about a 500 gold lead for the Dire. The bigger thing is a 1,000 experience lead. Now a smoke gank, or just a rotation. They're just going to leave the Juggernaut alone top. They said, Yanni, you're left here on devices. You've got those phase boots. There's not much we can do for you anymore. We're going to head mid. We're going to see if we can make something happen. They'll pop the smoke behind their own tier 1, and they'll look for a rotation around. Do they go for the Magnus, or are they really heading all the way bottom? Looks like they want FCFZ. Bimbo now needs to be careful. Could be skewered. There is a shockwave as well. That'll bring him low. He wants to get a couple more auto attacks off. Could have shockwaved right away and then gone for 2, but he'll throw that one shockwave out. It won't be enough. I think he could have gotten the kill. If you just shockwave right away and then go again, you can find it. FCFC is low bottom lane. He's zapped. Now he's in trouble. He doesn't have a teleport scroll. He'll die to the Sakuchi while transforming. We have a bit of a missed opportunity for TFG there. Shockwave is a very low cooldown. 8 seconds on a Magnus, you could take the tower for that amount of time, but the supports were off the map, so I suppose he was worried they might be coming mid, which is understandable. Then again, he was still diving the tower partway. But either way, misses the kill there, not the biggest deal. Jay, now up to about 900 gold. Boots of Travel not too far off. We could see them around 10, 11 minutes, but it won't be as fast as if you go March build. And you're just stacking and then farming a huge cluster of Ancients. An important kill bottom. They did need to slow this lone Juro down. Oh, FCFC, did he it looks like he resummoned the bear shortly before that gank. So that's actually a massive kill, because now he doesn't have his bear anymore. Didn't realize he had resummoned it. Generally, you don't need to resummon the bear against Weaver, but... Meanwhile, middle lane. Rotation in from lane. They pick off the Tinker mid, and with no Ancients to fall back on, he's going to have a very delayed Boots of Travel now. His CS, 30 CS, not bad for the middle lane. Consider you're up against Magnus. You're often last hit under tower, but it would be better with March. And Magnus would be missing a few more last hits, as he'd be under tower. You can't shockwave every creep. Only most of them. Oh, looking to lurk. Switch around mid, or backstab rather. Does he have a tango? No, he doesn't. So he can't eat his way through. He's got to wait for FCFC to actually cut through the tree line. And now, Geo, no boots. Is he the hard support this game? I guess he is. Seems like he's buying most of the sentries. Most of the wards, rather. He's only sitting on Magic Stick and 2 Clarities. A Gyrocopter without any farm is fairly useless. Normally see him played as the 4 position. Now, he does crap loads of damage. He doesn't need a lot of items, but you need at least some farm. You need your boots, you need a wand, you need some basic HP and stats items. Ideally, you'd like to get upgraded boots and level 7. You also really want to get that maxed out Rocket Barrage, the level 1 cooldown if you're playing this utility role. Or if you want to go back into more of a farming build, then you could go max Flat Cannon. But Gyrocopter needs a lot of levels, needs a lot of farm, and not a lot of farm, but a decent amount. And he's not even getting a decent amount. He's getting basically nothing right now, so... Especially with that kill going mid. Not really liking the situation for Mineski too much. I feel like they're in a lot of trouble. Weaver is doing decently bottom, but now the bear's back up, and the root gaming kicks in. He'll dive FCFC. He's trying to bait him. This is so much wasted time by Oa. And Oa finally says, I've had enough. This is just not happening. Sort of the forgotten hero of this game has been Miracle, because nothing has been happening top since the early stages. And, well, they're not doing a whole lot to shut down Yanni. It is this offlane Juggernaut where, sure, you can net him and hold him, but you can't do much damage to him while he's Blade Fury. And if he ever needs to, he can TP out. He's now got his healing ward at level 2. He's just going to calmly start farming under the tower and getting back to relatively full HP. So, Yanni, if anyone's been playing well this game, I think it's that offlane Juggernaut. And he's kind of been gifted a lot of creeps by Mineski on top of it. Still no boots on Geo. 9.5 minutes. 9.5 minutes in, no boots. That is really bad. They need him to get boots. Just to chase with Rocket Barrage, because it has a slight cast animation to it. So whenever you're chasing someone, you stop to cast Rocket Barrage, you'll actually stop for a second. And while you're doing that, with that low range that it has, a lot of heroes will run out of vision. Or out of range for the Rocket Barrage, which is why generally you'll see a lot of Gyrocopter players go for phase boots, unless their team has amazing lockdown. That's why you really need the boots, just to chase. Otherwise, you're not doing anything. You've got all this damage, but you've got to be in range to get it off. There will be a double damage top. They can lift to start. They'll deny the rune. They'll deploy a rocket, and he'll skewer away. I don't know if they can actually get this kill. There's your RPO too. Light Strike away. Laguna. Everything and the kitchen sink thrown in. They're looking for the double. Oh, a South up. Still on the run, but a Shockwave will bring him down. He'll deny himself to the neutrals. He'll get the deny just in the nick of time, but the damage is still done. Meanwhile, top lane. Big dive onto Yanni. The net still available. Not using it yet. He'll throw it out, but I think Miracle really needs to back now. Can they kill off Yanni? He's low. They'll be okay with the healing ward. Illusion's not being micro too much yet. Now the chase is on. Buyback from Bimbo. Further delaying his boots of travel. They need that kill. They'll get it. A crucial kill, but I think he still loses more than he gains from a buyback. They do get the kill of Miracle, so they get the trade, but not far mid, not stacking Ancient. Still hasn't gone for a single point March of the Machines. And when you don't go for March, there's just no comeback mechanic. Bottom lane, though, they're diving. They want FCFC. They have the Rubik lift. They'll throw him back in now. The bugs are chewing away at him. That armor is dropping. And now, getting low. He will die. The last double proc. The last Geminate attack. Everything needed just to kill the Lone Druid. They are keeping him down, but it's coming at the expense of what looks to be a very, very fast Blink Dagger. TFG, second highest farmer in the game. Weaver now has something. What is it? It's just a bottle. Oh, he's just gone for all these cheap items. Link coming for a backstab now, but he will be spotted by the Radiant Courier. Well, that gank's over. So still no boots of travel in sight. We're now almost 12 minutes in. This is starting to get to be a late timing. Like 10, 11 minutes, if you don't have the best start, is decent. If you're going laser rockets, you can make some allowances, but now we're looking at boots of travel maybe at the 14, 15 minute mark. And that's when Mag's likely to have his Blink Dagger. Song of the Siren is also another way to catch Tinker. Even once he gets a Blink, you could just, as soon as you see him, TP or jump into a lane. Oh, they're going to completely miss all their spells here. And that'll be enough for Tinker to get away. But basically, if he's in the tree line... Oh, no RP. Could maybe look to go, but they don't have any vision right now. Now the laser coming out. The bug's doing some work. The RP is there. The Laguna as well. Oh, can they bring him down? They cannot. Oh, boy. This is now a chase. The hunt is on, and late on the run, the bugs giving vision. Joven with the big, big plays. Picks up the double kill for his team. Desperately needed. Gyrocopter's got his boots. Boots of travel coming out soon. With that double kill, the experience... or the additional assist gold, as well as the hero kill gold. Now the boots of travel looking like 14-minute boots, and crucially, they slow down the mag blink. They could still catch this this Tinker if they're able to find him in the trees with Song of the Siren, with Skewer. They have Light Trickery to eat through those trees. They have Shadow Poison to scout him out, but it's going to be harder. The Blink Dagger for Mag is really the key to punish him. And Yanni's getting a lot more than you'd expect out of this offlane, but he's blown Blade Fury and creeps, and now he might be in trouble. He'll TP out immediately, but there is a Naga net. It won't get there in time. Doesn't use the Song of the Siren. Miracle. That net does have a travel time and just underestimates how long it would take to get there. Could have gone for the song. That would have certainly been a kill. Juggernaut did not have mana for anything. So doesn't take that easy kill. Thinks he can get it with the song. Or with the net, and gets a bit greedy as a result. They may get the tier 1 top yet, but that big fight bottom rune. Kind of equalizing things for Mineski. They're still behind a bit, but it's not that much. 250. I mean, they were behind by almost 2k. Blade Fury will be ignored, of course, because there's a... he's magic immune to that Song of the Siren, but can't get in range for an Omni Slash. They will be forced back. So I suppose the song helps him out there. Rockets to fly. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Winter with the disruption. Keeping Miracle alive, but he's low now. TFG has rotated top as well. Radiant have an observer here, so I actually think this movement hasn't been spotted. I believe they traveled like so. Well, not up the cliff, but you get the idea. Random Satyr Tormentor Blast. Okay, alright. And here we go top. RP, fully down at 8 seconds. They want to start with some Shockwave spam, but Oa wants to go in. There's now a call down on Gyrocopter. Hits level 6 off of that action. Goes to the bottom lane. Yanni starts with Blade Fury. I think a mistake. Should have gone with the Omni Slash first. You could get on top of them, but maybe it would have been dangerous to dive that. He'll choose to back off. Juggernaut is really one of the best, if not the best carry in the game versus Mag, one of the best. Because Omni Slash, I mean, you just jump on that Mag and there's nothing he can do. He can't wriggle you off. It's like having a blood-sucking parasite just firmly attached to the neck or the veins, and nothing you can do while you're being Omni Slash. Then, he can RP you while you're Blade Fury, but you won't take any damage from the RP, the Shockwave, or the Skewer. The Skewer won't move you either. So, potentially TFG could just be assassinated in these fights with a well-timed Omni Slash from Yanni. On top of that, the rocket spam. The rockets could bring him down too. And speaking of rocket spam, we almost have boots of travel. 15 minutes in. The rotation top will delay them a bit more. Could have had them like 14 minutes, but now they're coming. Thought he could get some kills top. Wasn't the case. And now an Ultimate Orb up for Joven. Mineski, definitely not out of this. If this game goes late, I'm not sure that Invasion or MUFC want to take it late. They have RP. They have a Naga who's rushing a Diffusal Blade, not going for Radiance, which isn't unusual, but means that you won't farm as quickly, you won't scale as well. It's more of a mid-game item. And they have a Lone Druid who's going phase boots Maelstrom, so their lineup really its strength is the mid game. And eventually, Bimbo is going to have multiple points of March of the Machines. He's now got 1. He could start to push the lanes out. As this goes later and later, you have a Gyrocopter as your 4 position and a Rubik as your 5. They could steal RP. They have massive AoE damage and late game scaling potential on the Gyro. Dare I say it, but Mineski is just going to win this late unless MUFC is really far ahead. Oh no, there's your Blink RP. Just manages to get in between the machines, jumps in, throws him, and gets the kill. The Boots of Traveler are up, but there won't be anything else soon, and no buyback in sight. Meanwhile, bottom lane. Here comes your chase. FCFZ really should be scouty with the bear. He'll do it now. Top lane, wanting to go on Yanni. Waiting for that Battle Fury, and oh, he will just simply TP away. There's nothing to stop that. The net can cancel TP, so the thing is, you really want to hold the net until he tries to TP out. Even when he's Blade Fury, it will cancel it. But the problem is, while you're trying to do that, he's just running. So at some point, you just want to throw the net out. Then he promptly will TP away. Well played by him. And there's nothing else that goes through Magic Community aside from that RP. Maybe the Entangle. Not reliable, though. And well, Lone Druid getting far. Maybe FCFC will go back for Radiance. I'm not convinced that MUFC is going to be able to push too much, though. I mean, they have Naga. They have Lone Druid. They have decent split push, but Mineski have a Tinker and a Gyro. And these two heroes by themselves just grind pushes to a halt. We'll see. Miracle up to a shenanigan, sending the Naga illusions past the creep wave. He'll Riptide while farming the jungle. Just trying to basically stall the lanes as much as possible, get them pushed back in. Bimbo, he's retreated to the jungle. At least they're playing Miracle's standard favorite brand of Dota. He's gone Diffusal Blade, he's gone Naga Siren. So he's playing that hero that can just win the game by split pushing in most scenarios. And Mineski supports are feeling a bit poor at the moment. All of a sudden, wow, over the course of 5 minutes goes from a basically dead even game. Remember last time I said gold difference? 500, suddenly 5,000. And let's try and take stock of why that's the case. Well, they got the tier 1 top. They got the tier 1 bottom, so they got 2 towers. That's about 2k worth. And they got a couple of kills. They got a kill on the Tinker. He also bought back, which lowers your team's overall... Well, it doesn't affect your gold earned, actually. Although it will affect their actual net worth. Tinker, very poor. He's below the offlane Juggernaut in terms of net worth. And then it just comes down to CS. Miracle's starting to pull ahead up to 104 with that split pushing. Uh-oh. Geo gets caught out. The stun will be there. The Laguna as well. They don't even need to blow an RP, and now they have one available. They won't use it for Oa just yet. He did steal Laguna. He throws it on TFG, but it barely even scratches that Magnus at his thick armor. They'll throw out some sentries, but Winter, does he have a gem already? No, Ling. Ling's got the gem. 18-minute gem. They want to start taking fights. Gem going to be fantastic for doing so. And it's only a level 2 March. They're pushing right now. Could be scary. There's your Blink RP. Catches out Joven on the way out. Didn't have a TP scroll, so he tried to beeline it. And with the gem there, they were able to catch him, able to pick him off. Well, MUFC just having clash after clash going their way. In terms of team composition, I did think Mineski could take this late, but not when they die like this, and not when there's a Blink Dagger and Lina. Now it gets harder and harder for your Tinker, who it looks like we'll just see a 4-staff coming out from him. Picked up the Sage's Mask. Oh no, Soul Rain first, and well, we'll have to see if he goes 4-staff. I think he needs to go Blink Dagger, though. 4-staff is only really useful in the fights, and if you're in the fights, you're just dying. There's no way he's going to live. Not mobile enough. Not tanky enough. Now Mineski grouping up, looking to push that top lane. Trying to trade here. MUFC are quite content to trade, I feel, because right after this, they can go Roche. Tower will not be denied mid. Now the Spink and Skewer as well. Jay in trouble. If he gets entangled, he is dead. Where's that Root Gaming when you need it? Nobody coming to help Bimbo. And now there will be the Bear recall. And the Blink away. And the chase is on. But what can Joven find? Maelstrom up on the Bear. Didn't go greedy, just going for the stronger fight now item. And it does really seem like MUFC wants to fight now, and I think it does favor their lineup more. Go take it late, a lot more dangerous. Top lane, Son of the Siren deployed. Light Strike Array, will it be there? Or will they just start with the Laguna? There's your Light Strike Array. Now the Dragon Slave, nicely timed, and now Lane jumps forward. He's got that Laguna. He'll probably flame it out. He will. 2 kills down, and now Yanni on the run, but there's going to be an RP in a matter of seconds. Omni Slash. Only level 1. Oh, if that was level 2, that'd be the easiest kill ever. But the laser, enough to bring him down. Now needs to Blade Fury his way out of here. Doesn't have the mana. He's purged. He's slowed. He's stunned. And he is still alive. The Marsh drives the back. And now, Joven on the chase. Joven has joined the fight. The rocket's coming through. There is no song. They may get some more kills. Mineski making a fight of this one. Miracle dies trying to go inside of his mirror image form. You can disjoint damage with that. Maybe he was trying for a big Wodota play, but not able to time it perfectly. Meanwhile, this buys some time for Bimbo to farm. I mean, I gotta say, that fight, all things considered, it looked fantastic for MUFC to start, but I give Mineski the edge off of that fight. Goldgraph is stabilized. Trading at this point in the game is going to be fantastic for them because they're so far behind. FCFC, well, he did get the tier 1 mid, so including the tier 1 mid in the equation, then maybe it favors MUFC, but just in terms of the engagement top lane, the kills that were traded, I give that one to Mineski. So far behind, trading is going to be more than you could really dream for. Pushing, though, that's dangerous. They do have March, they have Healing Ward, but they're pushing into RP. They're pushing into the Salt of the Siren once it's off cooldown. They're going to try for it, and Lincoln Sphere comes soon. Once that Lincoln Sphere is up, Weaver gets a little bit harder to kill. You can't just kill him with the net. We see Lane looking for a wraparound. Bold movement from Lane. Has the blink, has the gem, just casually strutting through the enemy jungle all by himself. They have a lane ward. They know exactly what Mineski are up to. He could Light Strike Ray to get himself out of here. He doesn't want to blow the mana. He'll wait for the Blink Dagger cooldown. Now he'll blow the mana. Okay. Now he's going to fight a Geo. If he had that stun, he might have been able to get the kill. Oh no. They'll back off. Bimbo's starting to pick up a bit of speed here. Yanni is the lead farmer for this team right now. They are falling behind a bit, but they have more late game. They have more carries. They're down in towers early. So all things considered, I don't think they're that far behind. Looking at the farm right now, Weaver pretty much even with the Lone Druid. Juggernaut a bit behind the Naga Siren. And then Tinker ahead of the Magnus. So, and of course they have a Gyrocopter as well, who isn't farming well, but can catch up fairly quickly later on in the game with farm and just some additional levels. So, Mineski down by a lot. Not in a good position, but not out of the fight just yet. And Tangle will break that Roshan spell steal. Or not spell steal, spell block. And now they're going to take this Roche. Really nothing Mineski could do. Their best decision, they don't have the vision to contest this. They're going into the pit blind if they go. So what they could do is try and counter push. But it's hard because Miracle has Song of the Siren off cooldown. He's got his illusions to Riptide out the creep wave. You'll see a nice little split from him again. Showing off that micro as well. And keeping the lane pushed in. So they want to split push, they want to trade, which is the right decision, but they can't really do it that easily. They don't have a mech, they don't have a pipe, there's nothing in sight. The supports are horribly behind right now. Level 7 on the Rubik with no items. Compare that to a Shadow Demon. Well, he's got no items, but I imagine we'll see. We already saw the Blink Dagger, the gem on Lane. So Lane has picked up a lot. And Winter, the reason he has no items is he's the one who actually bought the gem. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter as well as Rubik, both incredibly, ridiculously poor. This top tower, it looks like they're going to get the trade, but MUFC, they want to get in position to push the bottom lane. They want to make this one something that can't be contested. It will be the Blink Dagger for Bimbo. He's got it out now. He's up to level 13. He's got that max March. He can TP in bottom. He can blink inside the trees. He's got to be careful, though. If they see him do this... No, he'll blink back. He'll play it safe. If you blink into the trees, Magnus could just blink, skewer, RPU. And once you're dead, the tower won't stand for long. But now that he's got the March going, MUFC have to back. So they get the tier 1 mid, they defend the tier 2 bottom. Game is starting to stabilize a bit. And now with the Lincolns up on Joven, he can be more aggressive. He can be more eager in terms of pushing the side lanes. And they'll need an RP to really bring him down, or multiple single target spells. But that's something, while you're busy casting 2 single target spells, he's time-lapsing, he's Sakuchiing away. Just during those cast animations. Geo starting to get some, finally, at long last, some farm for himself. But now... Bimbo says no. That's my farm. Taking it all for himself. The Tinker way. He'll start spamming the March here. They want to push bottom. They want to go on bottom. But I don't think they can find Bimbo. They won't be able to blink into these trees. They'll reveal their smoke if they do so. He'll just TP back. MUFC, they know that they need to find a pick, though, to break this. Ideally, you find the Tinker. He's the one who's stopping you from pushing. As he'll rotate towards mid. Blink up onto the high ground. Probably start farming some agents as well. But he's not in position bottom. 3 heroes are here. They're right behind the bear. If MUFC get that Tinker, the towers are going to melt like paper. So it's crucial for Bimbo just not to die at all. Even with cooldown. The bear is tanky enough just to sit there and chop away. If there was ever a time not to die, it is right this second. There could be a blink RP, but he'll blink away. No, he'll get caught. Oh no, he'll get caught, and once he gets caught, the towers are going to melt, unless he's got buyback. He doesn't. Yanni actually TPs in. Maybe with all 5 here they can defend. Omni Slash is there, but meanwhile middle lane, Miracle's doing his thing, pushing in the middle lane, and now they're going to go pick off that Shadow Demon. But while that's happening, Miracle's starting to heat up. He's got the Yasha. He'll probably go Heart now. He could go Manta. But you really want those tankier illusions. You don't really need more that badly. There's nothing big to remove. No silences. Oh no. Bottom lane, Yanni gets picked off. As soon as you look away, in they go. And the rocket will hit. They'll back off, but they lose 2 cores, so not a good trade at all for Mineski. They also take significant damage on their tier 2 mid. Song of the Siren on the back lines for Miracle. He's managed to sneak around. He's actually caught them out. Now they get skewered in. Oh, they're just melting. They're just exploding. They will break that Liquid Sphere. And now, finding the kills, now they can push. Bimbo. Oh, he's really going to try for this? Bimbo. Oh, no. He thought he could shift Q that blink. But there was nowhere to really go. The trees are already mostly deforested here. And he wasn't quick enough on it. He gets caught. He will drop. And too many lost fights for Mineski. This game is really starting to slip away for them. Tinker can defend the push, but not when Lone Druid is this fat, not when Naga is this fat, and not when the map control is so bleak. Looks right now like MUFC, they might be the second team out of Group A, despite that loss to Chain Stack. Second place will advance into the playoffs as well. First place has the better seed, first place has the easier matchups, but second place, they move on too. MUFC just doing a little bit of work in the enemy jungle, doing some additional economic damage. Smart play from them, using the Naga illusions as well as the Lone Druid Bear, the Magnus to scout things out, steal all the neutrals. There's not a whole lot of places for these supports to go. TFG. He's probably thinking, man, I would love to kill this Rubik, but I would also love... Oh, wow. There's your Blink RP. Only catches Geo, though. Just barely gonna miss Jay. And now, TFG on the run. Gets the Gyro, slightly better than the Rubik, but not really the biggest deal. And he'll lose that Aegis. He'll blow it up. He doesn't have to... Oh, entangle on Yanni, but he'll just blade through. Getting the Manta style soon. All is not entirely lost for Mineski, although the situation looks bleak. Because MUFC, they don't have a pipe yet. They don't have a mech yet. They don't have any way to easily break through the march, aside from the Lone Druid Bear, so... Mineski in a very bad position, but is still not out of the realm of possibility. They could come back. It's going to be hard, though. Juggernaut Omni Slash won't be very useful against Naga Illusions, against the Lone Druid Bear. Weaver doesn't really do a whole lot in these 5v5 clashes. If he ever gets caught by reverse polarity, he's dead. He'll go for what looks to be a Manta style, or a Radiance now, and that's going to be crucial. They need to split push. They need to stall this game as long as humanly possible, and nothing split push is better than a Radiance. Even a Yasha, a Manta style, just not quite as efficient. Meanwhile, a Mag on a cliff, doing a little dewarding. The gem on the Lina still. Lane already has made this gem pay for itself, and then some. Miracle doing what he can with the illusions to counter the split push, but Mineski, they're holding strong at their tower here. Constant, incessant March the Machine spam, keeping that tower alive. As far as the game plan for MUFC, they need to get the Assault Cuirass, which they have. Maybe one more item on the Lone Druid. The next Roche, and then I think you look to break the base. You don't want to wait another 15-20 minutes. You can take it later, you can still potentially win, but that gives Mineski a much higher probability of coming back at that point. Much, much higher. They will catch our poor Weaver now, who gets Light Triggered, who takes every spell, almost gets the time-lapse off, dies mid-animation on the time-lapse in spite of the RP and the Light Strike Array, but a crucial kill because he almost had... Well, actually, he's going to go Yasha, so he'll go Manta style. Still a great pickup on Weaver. Just a little odd to see him save almost 3.5k gold and then go back for the Yasha. Maybe he wanted to buy a completed Manta. Well, he'll get the Yasha now. He will die, though. Miracle will go hard. March is going to shoot through these pretty quickly. So will Call Down. So will Flat Cannon. But the extra HP will allow them to get a few more attacks off. They'll easily be able to get the tier 2 top now. They've got the positioning for it. They have RP cooling down in about a minute, but they have Song of the Siren now. Not something Mineski can defend. It looks like that'll be the plan for MUFC. There's a blink in. And now a skewer. Pulling Geo back. Not really directly back, but the blink. Life Trigger is there by Lane. They get the kill. Lane making plays along with TFG.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Taker can't be everywhere.
Radiant's middle tower is under
He can be almost everywhere. He can't quite be everywhere. Just a blink dagger. And Bimbo is just so incredibly poor. 8k net worth. And he's still slowing the push. He's still making it hard, but it's not impossible right now. Lane now has a Force Staff. Another item to try and force the fights. MUFC, they'll back off. They'll wait for the next Roshan. They have that medallion up in winter, which will make Rosh even easier. And then they'll go for it. Once you have the additional Aegis, that's where you really want to take the fights. You could give it to Miracle, who's now level 16 as the level 1. So you could give it to the Lone Druid. I think you're better off having it on your Naga Siren, though. But we'll see. Either is viable. Lone Druid just not going to be useful once he loses his bear. Because of that, generally the Naga offers more. You'll get multiple Riptides off, multiple ensnares, and potentially quite a few mirror images as well. This is going to be your last match of the GST Dota 2 group stages, guys. The March edition. Tomorrow the playoffs begin. It's Mineski versus MUFC. If you're just tuning in, I see we're gaining quite a few viewers. Thank you all for joining me. It's the final match of Group A. Groups B and C were decided yesterday. Group D currently being decided now if it hasn't already finished. Winner of this moves on. They'll be second place in the group. First place, that goes to Chain Stack. They played really well. They pretty much smashed MUFC earlier. And they're showing that they aren't just a pub stack. They have a quite a versatile style, kind of reminiscent in some ways of Zenith or just sort of this team that could pick anything. They like their split push. They like getting greedy, but they know how to execute it pretty well. Yanni will go back for a point booster here. Looks like he wants an Aghanims. There's a Blink RP. Alina as well. Surprise. Hello. Potentially goodbye, but no. They don't have a way to actually break the linkage. It was on cooldown last time. I forget what actually broke it. But they don't have it this time. They don't have the burst. That linkage sphere paying dividends. RP was blown for that. They blew their RP. The Roche is about to respawn. I still don't think Mineski can fight this. And they'll have the momentum top, but it will at least discourage MUFC from immediately breaking the base after. They'll have to wait 70 seconds for it to cool down. They almost have... It's good though, because they almost have double RP. And O is stalling Shockwave. This will really help them counter push. But you would like to see that RP. They're going to want it in these fights. A big RP stolen with a gyrocopter call down on top of it. The swarm to lower everyone's armor and then layer in... Oh, layer in a Miracle. Who's now going to go past the tower. He'll sleep some heroes while his illusions work away mid. Your standard Miracle shenanigans on the Naga Siren. We've seen it from him before. Basically what he does is he sleeps the enemy team in such a way that the sleep doesn't affect towers, whether it's this tower or this tower. So he'll catch the enemy heroes, then he'll TP out, he'll slowly but surely abuse that 1 minute cooldown on Song of the Siren to do a little chip damage to the towers, and towers do not have they don't have regen, so eventually the towers will fall. Not quite as effective against the Rax, but can still work. You can usually outdamage that regen if you're really efficient. Lane has a Ghost Scepter. This is not an easy kill for Yanni. Actually, no way to claim it. Normally you'd see that Lita, say, hey, she's dead. Not the case with the Ghost Scepter. And Mineski now kind of confined to their base at this point. The 3 cores of Invasion, MUFC, all lead farmers. They're up by a lot. They are really up by a lot. But they're having trouble ending this game. And a lot of that goes back to the item selections and the hero composition of Mineski. Weaver, how do you really kill him with the Lincoln Sphere? You need 3+ heroes, and rarely it's rarely possible to get 3 to where he is quickly enough when there's only a blink and a Force Staff on your Shadow or on your Lina as well as your Mag. Just getting a rage to that Weaver to cast your spells is difficult. They think about going on Yanni mid. They won't do so. But Naga Illusions, they push mid lane in, then they go back door with the Naga Illusions, and they're chipping and chipping away. This is your Miracle Dota. He may be playing for MUFC, but he is playing standard Miracle First Departure style Dota. Just the cheesiest possible split push you could ever envision, but it works. Blinking by TFG, whiffs the skewer, he'll just back right off. In FCFC, he'll deal with the push top. He's gone back for a Vlad's as well as a Demon Edge. So keeping that bear healthier in the fights. The Armor R does not stack, but still just having the lifesteal will be nice with Naga Siren. Her main hero will benefit from that. Even the Magnus as well. And now Refresher up a Mag. It really looks like MUFC should have enough to break the base. They've got the Refresher. They've got all those items you'd expect. Here comes your Son of the Siren. While the Illusions, they're chipping away bottom. Really abusing that. Massive amounts of paints going out. All of them by Jobin, I think. Or maybe that was Bimbo, actually. Yanni, RP wasn't stolen. It was. But Owa charges in. Doesn't have the mana to use that RP. Oh, no. Oh, no. And while it's happening, Lina finding the kills on the back lines. Picks one off. Picks off that Juggernaut. Now on the way out. Actually didn't even use the Laguna Blade. Just used the nukes. There's no Juggernaut. And round 2 of the push will commence. Death by 1,000 cuts. That is the miracle way. And he now lends his talents to MUFC to show them the true power of this unique form of Dota. They'll now head on bottom while the push happens mid. Lone Druid Bear dying to march. May even fall here. The glyph forced out, but 2 lanes of X are exposed. Blinken from lane, has a Laguna. Blinken for TFG. There's your secondary RP with that Refresher to do the dirty work. Owa stole the RP as mentioned earlier. I think he even stole it. No, he didn't even steal it again. He just had the originally stolen one, but won't matter. They'll take a fall, but they're looking at Rax now. Unless Joven can drive them off. Maybe he will. While this is happening, Low Druid, he takes care of mid, and FCFC now goes into range for him, tranquils himself up, wants some regen. They'll get 2 lanes of Rax, and once you're down this much, even with Tinker, even with Weaver, your split push is good. It ain't good enough. You're pretty much out of the fight at this point. You'll see another Son of the Siren. We'll see Illusions working way top. Cheese, 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 and then some more cheese. Some cheddar on top of the Munster. On top of the American cheese. A little Swiss as well for good measure. It's a platter of cheeses, and it's all coming from Miracle, and it is working to perfection. By the way, if you ever get a chance to pub with Miracle, this is all he does. If he ever plays any sort of hero like Naga, he could win by fighting, but he won't do it. He perfects his split push. It's all he trains it, and I mean, he may be the best split pushing carry in Asia. He just plays it exclusively. Other players are obviously great at it. Ice is fantastic at it. A lot of the Chinese players are pretty strong at it, but this is literally all I've ever seen Miracle do in a competitive game, and, well, it works. You can't argue with it. It's a strong style, and he's really suitable for it. It just fits him as a player. Even if it's MUFC, who have been running more team fight-oriented heroes like the Faceless Void, more sort of aggressive mid-game lineups, Miracle's going to play his brand of Dota, and I like the fact that Winter adjusted to that. He picked a hero that Miracle's comfortable with. One that, yes, it fit into their lineup, but could have tried to pick the Void. He didn't do that. He went for something that's stronger in the lane, that could deal with that tri-lane, but most importantly, that just suits Miracle. And the end is likely to come at this point. Mineski, we do have a new Olots emoticon for all the Pinoys out there. If you subscribe to the channel, you can spam that Olots icon to your heart's content. I personally love it. It's one of my favorites. We actually got a batch of new ones in general. There's an Ice Frog one, there's a Mushi one, there's a Dendi face. There's some really fun and exciting sub-icons, but we may need a Miracle icon soon at the rate this is going. That bear doing work on the Rex. Look at how it melts. The MKB is up. 3 lanes of Rex now down. And Olots are on the way. There's just no defending. While this is happening, Miracle pushes in the bottom lane, giving some momentum to that. He'll even use the Son of the Siren, probably, to work on the base towers. Not even needed yet, just the Lucius chipping away. The net is closing. The end is coming from Mineski in the GEST Dota 2. Ling now throws himself up in the air, delaying potentially a death, but doesn't really matter. The RP is there, but now the stolen by a Rubik, I believe. The RP thrown out the other way, Omni Slash as well, but remember, they're down Mega Creeps at this point, so they need to get like 5 team wipes in a matter of 3 or 4 minutes to even have a shot. Meanwhile, they're not killing Miracle. He's got an evasion up now. That'll affect all his illusions. GG for Mineski. They are beat. Oh, lots for them. They get smacked down by Miracle Dota and his Naga Siren cheese. He would probably do well in France, I imagine. They love their cheese platters. The GGs come out. The chase is on bottom. Bimbo will be the next in line. So MUFC, they will advance, albeit they are second in the group. The first place team, that was Chain Stack, and they dominated today. They really smacked down MUFC, making their case as potentially that 3rd team out of Southeast Asia. MUFC, as much as we all love Winter, they have not been in fantastic form lately. They've been dropping games against teams that are not Zenith, are not Orange, are not the top Chinese teams, and we saw them getting knocked out of the G1 League by, I believe it was Rattlesnakes earlier, and Little Fountain camping out. Blink in, RP skewer them out. Mag will take a fall. A few more deaths. The Fountain Campers have become the Fountain Camped. Mineski just getting butchered in their own base. And it's a heavy butcher's bill to be paid, but in the end, it will be paid. It will be paid with Mineski blood. It will be paid with the downfall of the Pinoy challengers in Group A. They are down. They are out for the count, guys. That will conclude our GST Dota 2 coverage for today, but we will come back tomorrow, and we'll come back strong. We're going to have the G1 League to start, and we'll have GST Dota 2 playoff action going on. We'll most likely have 2 streams going as long as Gods is not sick. If not, we may have to cast the GST Dota 2 a bit later, but if all goes well, we'll have 2 streams going pretty much the entire day, starting everything around 4:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 12:30 p.m. CET or 19:30 SGT. So anyway, we will see you in, I think it's like 20 hours or so. Yeah, around 20 hours when G1 League will continue. For now, though, congratulations to MUFC. They will be the second place team in Group A, and they will move on into the next stage of the event. As for Mineski, a lot's for them. They're going home. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm LD. If you enjoy my casting, as always, follow me on Twitter. Twitter.com/LDDota. Be sure also to follow the Beyond the Summit channel. You'll get a notification, an email, whenever the stream goes live. Just click that little follow button next to the stream up near the top. And thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you later. Rebroadcast going to start right after this. But for now, it's LD signing off.